Hey everyone, today I'm reviewing 3 classic horror games from before the 2000 for a homework assignment: Silent Hill 1, Resident Evil 1 and Clock Tower. My interest in this game actually started when I was about 10. I randomly saw a French streamer on Twitch playing one of them and it caught my attention. Later on, I realized that people close to me, my friends, also had a passion for this game. Their interest and love for this classic eventually pulled me into. Now, thanks to assignments, I finally have the chance to play and review them in detail. In this video, I will cover and 3 games one by one. I will talk about story, one I expected versus one I got, and what I liked and didn't like. Part 1: Silent Hill. First, why Silent Hill? My first game is Silent Hill. I choose it because it's known for playing with your mind, for its disturbing atmosphere rather than just jump scares. What I expected, what I got. Expectation. Honestly, I thought that since it's PSV1 game wouldn't be very scary today. Maybe the controls will be a little worse. What I got, what I found was very different. The graphics are old, yes, but famous, creative and incredible atmosphere. The feeling of uncontained, but what I love most was the sound, the static from the radio. When something gets close, it makes the tension go way up. It starts with a guy named Hermation looking for his daughter, Charlie. He wakes up after a crashing, foggy, abandoned town called Silent Hill, and his daughter is gone. As he explores, we learn this isn't a normal place. It's like the town feeds on people's fears, threats, dark cults, explainingly these otherworld transitions. What I liked, the atmosphere, clearly the atmosphere, that fog and that static, it's next level. The sounds, the music, and especially these industrial unsettling ambient sounds. The style of the horror, it doesn't yell boo at you. Instead, it makes you ask, I'm going crazy. This psychologist side is really strong. Deep story, there is a much more going on the just a save your daughter missions. It deals with curse, trauma, and other
What's
deep
this?
themes. What I didn't like, the combat killing the boss is just
Harry!
torture when you combine it
Sybil?
with clunky movement system. Fights aren't fun,
I'm
they are
glad you're
poor.
okay.
Camera and controls,
I
this
shouldn't have
was the
left you.
worst part. The
Things
fixed
are worse
camera
than I
angles
thought.
and tank controls drove
It's
me
nuts.
crazy. I got stressed out
What are
just
you
from the
doing here?
controls,
I
even
thought you
trying
left
to
town.
characters in the pain.
I saw you go
Visibly,
in here, so I
sometimes the
followed you.
fog and darkness were
I
so
couldn't get
thick
out.
it was impossible to see where I was
All the roads
by
out of
going.
town are blocked.
Part
Cars
1
have
wrap up.
completely stopped
So,
running.
Silent Hill drove me nuts with the
Phones and
controls,
radios
but
are
its
still out
atmosphere
too.
showed me that horror can be
What about
inside
my
your own
daughter? Did you
teeth.
see her?
But what if the horror's
I did see a
external,
girl.
like a mansion full of
Was it
zombies?
Cheryl?
Next up, we're looking at
I
Resident
only
Evil.
caught a glimpse.
Part 2: Resident Evil 1. Why Resident Evil? Next up is the 1996 game Resident Evil. This is the game that basically started the survival horror genre. It's also a personal choice. Resident Evil is one of my favorite horror series. I love the movies and animations, so I really wanted to go back to the roots of the series for the assignments. That was a big reason I picked it. Besides that, this game was the first to make zombies, limited ammo, and the oh no, I'm trapped feeling so popular. It's like they turned a B movie into game. What I expected, what I got. Expectation, I was honestly expecting to hear famously bad voice acting, shoot zombies with clone controls, and maybe like a little. What I got, the voice actually is definitely funny, no doubt, but the tensions and claustrophobia of the Spencer mansion feel very real. You have to solve little Emma and ink ribbons that you have to think about every shot and every save. That's the surveillance stress. What's the story? The story starts with the Stars team escaping from the woods into Giant's mansion. Of course, they quickly find out mansion is the trap full of zombies allocated by the Umbrella Corporation that the T-virus experiments. What I like is the location design. The Spencer mansion is like a character itself. Every room, every hallway is memorable. Resource scarcity, counting bullets, deciding which items to carry, the stress of needing to find a weapon to save. This thing built intention perfectly. Fixed camera angles, I have mixed feelings, but at moments like famous it's really crank off the tension by not showing you what's coming. 10 controls. I'm writing these L caps because it's even worse that silent in turning aiming it's real test of patience to play this today. Voice action and dialogue. The voice action the original is so bad that it can break the tensions and make you look and even it the scariest moments. Inventory and the item max that 6 slots inventory means you spent a half the game running back and forth to the storage box just to pick up a new item. Part 2 wrap up. Resident Evil taught us how to survive a panic and how the important resource management is. But what if we had no weapons at all? What if our only option was to run? In part 2, we'll look at the father of helpless horror, Clock Tower. Part 2 Clock Tower. Why Clock Tower? The last game on my list, Clock Tower. To be honest, I had never played this game and know almost nothing about it. I choose it because I want to see something different from Ri and She. I heard there were no weapons and that it started the stalker horror genre. They don't fight, just hide. Mechanic interested me. What I got. The game was more stressful I thought. The point and clicking controls are very slow when I was panic. The character is hard to control. The main problem is Caesar's man. He is a killer. He certainly appears the cases you when you hurt his Caesar. You really panic. You can't fight him. You can only run and hide. What's the story? The story is simple. We play as a orphan girl named Jennifer. She and her friends are adopted by a rich family and brought to make mansion. Soon after they arrive, things go wrong and killer with giant Caesars the Caesars man starts hunting everyone. We just have to escape from him and get off the mansion. What I liked, the feeling of helplessness. This was my favorite part. You have no weapons, nothing, you are completely the victim. This creates a very different kind of tension. Caesar's man, the idea of the killer constantly stalking you is great. My heart jumped every time I heard these Caesar sounds. The panic mechanic, when you get scared, your character panics and can trip and fall while running. This was a really realistic detail. What I didn't like, slow gameplay. Outside of panic moments, get from one place to another with point and click is very slow. The controls is hard to open door. Click on spot when you are in panic. The character reacts slowly. Trial and error, something you just can't escape. Scissorsman and you die instantly. Finding where to hide can be frustrating. Part 3 wrap up. Clock Tower taught us that fighting is always an option. Sometimes you are just a helpless victim. Okay, so we have finished all three games. Now, for the final part of the video, it's time to put these three legends on the comparison table. Part 4 final. Alright, we have looked at the three games one by one. So what do we see when we put them side? All three are horror games, but their approach to fear is completely different. Resident Evil is about panic and shock. It uses jump scare, lava and zombies jumping out. You make panic right now. Silent is psychological and atmospheric. It doesn't carry you. It disturbs you. It plant fear in your mind. It makes you ask, is the real? Clock Tower is about helplessness and pursuit. It puts you in victim shoes. It makes you feel powerless. First, setting physical horror sound. K characteristic. This settings uses a location to reflect the main character's inner fears, trauma, and guilt. The world is often foggy, dark, and decays into nightmares, otherworld, full of rust, blood, and symbolic monsters. The horror is built throughout sound, atmosphere, and second settings. Claustrophobic outbreak. K characteristic. This setting traps the player in tight, close location during a biological disaster. The theme is survival, enemies are cruel, and the environment is full of dark, narrow hallways. The horror comes from scientific experiments gone wrong. Player expectations. Limited resources. Very little ammo, health, or saved items. Inventory management. Deciding what few items to carry. Jump scares and tensions from fixed cameras or dark corners. Solving puzzles to unlock new areas. Examples: Resident Evil series, Dead Space, Dino Crisis. This assignment showed me that a good horror game isn't just about graphics, it's about atmosphere, sound design, and feeling it leaves you with. Thanks for watching.